All right. Welcome to Drivecam Live, man. Episode 1, I guess. I don't know. Hard to say. I just got off work and it's 4:30 a.m. So let's switch the camera and you can see what I'm seeing. And let's go. Getting off work. It is officially Monday morning now. Came in on Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. Now it's Monday morning, and we'll be back late Monday afternoon, late this afternoon. But it is time to go home right now. So I think this is a good idea, just to video, since a lot of people buy these drive cams and they put it on their windshield or whatever, which is cool. But I found that if you're able to stream live on YouTube, this is even better because you can just upload it to your YouTube account or it'll upload automatically, and you don't take up any unnecessary space on your device. None of that stuff. And you can, you can just delete it when you don't need it anymore. Pretty cool deal, I would say. You can see the camera kind of gives off what the sky is looking like. The camera can see it better than I can, and it's looks like it's really cloudy up there. I'm guessing that's what that is. I'm sure it's not my windshield. Yeah, it's the sky. It's just really cloudy. We're supposed to have some rain moving in. I thought my wife said it was supposed to be moving in about 2 a.m., which is like 2.5 hours ago. Which, hey, if I can make it home and not have to deal with no rain, that's a plus for me. Because I don't want to deal with that if I don't have to. Oh, man. So, we have an hour drive. Roughly an hour. There's one of our guys right here. You see him in the frame. One of our guys right there starting his day. Thankfully, mine is wrapped up. So, 1 down, 4 to go. Man. So, yeah, we're going to take a left right here. Straight ahead, about another, 100 yards is a DMV over here on this side of town. And I'm going to tell you, I was told the DMV right here has just opened back up recently. It was closed for, probably a month. Man, is that going to refocus or what? There it goes. I think the DMV was closed for like a month because of all this Corona stuff. And man, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I had to renew my license. I guess it's probably about close to 3 weeks ago now. And they expired on the 3rd of May, which is my birthday. And I was pushing it to the limit. I think I got them renewed on the, 27th or 28th of April. I wasn't officially on vacation yet, but that's what I was going to do. I was going to save the license renewal for when I was on vacation. And just do it that way. Well, luckily, my wife looked into it. If it wasn't for my wife, I'd be in bad shape right now. Or then, I know, it'd have been really bad. But luckily, my wife looked into information about the DMV. I didn't think nothing about it. I figured, I did look to see if they were open, and they said, yeah, they were open. But Here, in certain locations, of course, but let's just say the DMV I went to, you had to make an appointment just to do whatever your business was. You had to make an appointment. You couldn't just show up and like you normally could. So luckily, my wife was looking into that, and on this particular day, I had to work, and she told me, she goes, well, there's no appointments, at all. And I was like, what? So let me change this one more time. Sorry. There was no appointments until like May the 9th or something like that. So appointments were going to be available at the end of my vacation. And I was like, that ain't going to work. My license expires on, a week before that. So I was like, holy crap, man, I can't let my license expire. Not when you have CDLs, man. You don't want that. Oh my God, you don't want that. So luckily that same day, she told me, she goes, somebody must have canceled. I got you an appointment. And I was like, thank God. So I hauled ass to the DMV, and the line was from the front door wrapped around the side and back of the building. People standing in line. They got people, the first half of the line, they had those X's on the ground with the tape, 6 feet apart. And I got there and I thought to myself, surely to God, all these people in line, they don't have appointments. That's just what I was thinking. There's no way all these people have appointments. And so there was a DMV employee. She was standing out there kind of, she wasn't barking orders at people. Not yet, they wasn't. But they would not long after I was there. Just telling people, what to do, this and that. Well, I walked up and a lot of people had on the mask and the gloves. I had on my gloves. I didn't have a mask though, but a lot of other people did, which was good. I didn't have one at the time. I didn't have a mask. And so I asked that lady, I said, ma'am, I said, is this the line you stand in even if you have an appointment? And she said, sir, everybody in this line has an appointment. So you need to go to the back of the building, around the back, and get in the back of the line. I was like, holy cow, man. So that's what I did. And surprisingly, man, the line, I was there, my total time there, I was probably there for about, I'd say an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour. And that ain't bad, even if none of this stuff was going on. Even on a normal basis, being at the DMV for an hour or an hour and 10 minutes is really not that bad. It's not that great, but, it could be worse. So by the time I got up toward the door, they wanted people to have their paperwork done by the time they get in the building, and things could move along a lot smoother. That's a whole nother story altogether. For some reason, the couple of ladies that was directing the line out there, they didn't give me any, how they give you a clipboard with paperwork, whatever you're there to do. You have to fill some paperwork out, some stuff, whatever. And I was asked a couple of times, why are you here today? What's your business here today? And I said, I'm here to renew my CDLs. Well, CDLs are a lot different than just an ordinary driver's license. There's a lot more involved because it's a federal license, right? And you have to fill out more paperwork when it comes to CDLs. And so to make a long story short, I didn't get no paperwork till I was almost at the front entrance of the DMV. So I'm sitting there trying to fill all my stuff out, and I finally get it filled out. And got in there and got them renewed. But something that really blew my mind was that ever since I've had CDLs, they've always been good for 5 years. And then you have to get them renewed. This time around, for whatever reason, they're good for 8 years. I was like, what? And so I guess they changed, somewhere along the line, they changed the years CDLs were valid. I had no idea. But I was like, yeah, that'll work for me. 8 years? That's awesome. That'll work. Fine with me. So that's the story of the DMV that a few weeks ago, man. It was, of course, I came to work that next day. Or I came to work the next day, but when it was actually that next night when I came. And when I got off early that morning, there was a supervisor in the office, and he had a copy of them put in my file. They stay on top of that when you drive for a living. They do stay on top of your license, and they like to do random driving record checks. I'm not quite sure of the proper name of that. See if you have any tickets or any violations, anything like that. So they stay on top of that pretty good. And luckily, I ain't got nothing on my record, so it's always a clean slate. As of now, knock on wood anyway. Lord have mercy, that windshield, man. I got the air on, so it's trying to fog up. It's a little warm, so when the light hits, let's see if we can try to do something here. I don't know if that's going to help or not. That cool air is hitting, so. Oh well. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not really warm, but it's stuffy. So, kind of strange for 4:45. And well, I don't guess it's that strange. It's 60 degrees right now. And see, I knew that was going to happen. It's just going to continue to. It's going to continue to be aggravating unless you throw the heat on, and I'm not doing that. No. Anyway, so you start seeing some headlights here and there. People starting to come to work. I call them the early birds. And this stretch of road right here is a hot spot for the small town police. It used to be 40 down to here, and then they recently raised it to 45. You'll see the sign right here. I don't know if you can make it out. It says 45 right there, but see a lot of people pulled over during the daytime, but they love hiding out. The cops love hiding out in these little spots off in the dark, off the road here. I see it all the time. I go home this way, rather, a lot. There's another way I can go home. It's through the country, but there's a few spots you don't have any phone service. But going home this way, I see the cops sitting over in these little vacant lots and sitting in the dark and just waiting to bust somebody. They ain't got nothing else to do this time of morning, I'd imagine. So they just, I don't know about you, but working the crazy shift that I work, it's not bad coming to work and going home. I haven't really been pulled over. But it was always when I worked first shift and I was coming to work, I'd leave the house about anywhere between, 1 to 3 in the morning, in that kind of time frame. And it was always that time when I was coming to work. There's quite a few times I got pulled over. It just never failed, man. It never failed. I was like, God, dog, man. They'd get pulled over and they'd ask you the same two questions. That was the first two questions out of their mouth. Where are you going? Where are you coming from? And I was like, I'm going to work? Because they would be like, I would take my hand and I'd grab my blue collar right here. And they'd be like, I'm going to work, man. And I mean, I wasn't speeding or anything. They just, I don't know, man. I mean, they don't know me. I don't know them. And I guess the town I was going through was the town I live in. I live kind of on the outskirts of the town, but there's a lot of bad stuff happening at that time of the morning, I'd imagine, through that certain part of town. When you drive through it, you look at it, it's some bad shit happening through there, I would imagine. A lot of drug activity or something. To be out in the country, you wouldn't think that would be happening, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Stuff happens, it happens. It just, can be wherever. But I was going past, it was a convenience store, and also in the same building is a Burger King. And I saw it was a Greenville County deputy sheriff's car sitting in the parking lot of the convenience store parking lot / Burger King. And he was sitting over there and had his fog lights on, and I went past, and I think it's like 35 through there. So I saw him when I was getting ready to come in there's kind of a little curve there in the road. I saw him sitting over there, and I said, there he is, waiting to get somebody. Had no idea that it was going to be me, but then again, I was the only one on the road at that particular time of morning or late night, however you want to look at it. And I saw him, and he zipped out of there. Boom. And back then, I had a Ford Ranger pickup truck. I didn't have this truck. I saw him come out, man, and he got up on my tail, man, like that. I mean, it was fast. And I said, that's that damn cop. And at the time, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. Of course, you got to wear your seatbelt. It's the law. It's like it is every other state. Well, I took my knee to hold the steering wheel stable while I reached over here and tried not to be very noticeable that I was reaching, because he was on my ass, man. And when I did, my truck kind of went like that for a second. And as soon as it did that, he popped the blue lights on. I guess it gave him probable cause, whatever. But I went ahead and clicked the seatbelt, and I said, son of a bitch, man. So I threw my 4-ways on, pulled over on the side. It was some just grass. I was coming into the wooded area, so it was just grass out there. I pulled over and got my license and registration, all that stuff out. He come up, I already had my window down. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, okay, I guess. I mean, what am I going? I'm doing terrific, officer. Thank you for pulling me over. And I said, I'm all right, I guess. I guess I'm about to find out. That's, kind of a smart-ass answer, but I didn't have it in a smart-ass tone. I was just, trying to be funny, but I was like, damn, dude, really? Again, he don't know me, man, and, he's just doing his job. And I said, okay, I guess, man, I'm about to find out, I reckon. He said, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, nope, I sure don't. And I really didn't. I said, I have no idea why you pulled me over, man. He goes, I saw you kind of shift a little bit there. He goes, I figured maybe I didn't know you've been drinking. I said, oh, no, man, I ain't been drinking. I said, I'm going to work. That's my go-to move, because that's the truth. I said, I know I'm going to work, man. He goes, okay, let me see your license and registration and proof of insurance, and then just let me check you out, and then you'll be on your way. So no problem. I had it ready, gave it to him. He goes back to his car. He's running my license and my plate and all that shit, you know. He's back there for a couple of minutes, man, and I was like, damn, what's taking him so long? He comes back. He goes, all right, Mr. Wentz, here you go. I didn't mean to, don't want to hold up a working man. I couldn't believe he actually said that. That's the first officer of the law that's actually said something like that. Other ones that has pulled me over, again, I was heading to work early in the morning, and I was probably about 10, 15 minutes from work. And I had a headlight out, and I didn't know I had one. I mean, I didn't know. And he was sitting over on this side road. Well, actually, it was a driveway for a business. He was sitting over there, and the business, of course, they were closed. And I saw the reflection of the side of his patrol car, you know, all the police stickers, the reflective stickers and shit. And I wasn't speeding because I know they sit there a lot. And I said, yep, there he is. He's the one sitting right there. Excuse me. And I looked in my mirror, and he pulled out, and he got up on me and threw his lights on. And I said, what the hell is he pulling me over for, man? Again, I didn't know I had a light out. That gives them every reason in the world to pull you over, you know. So I pulled over, threw the four ways on, same routine. He comes up, how you doing? I'm like, okay, I guess. Same old shit, right? And he goes, you know why I pulled you over? I said, no, sir, I do not. He goes, you got a headlight out. I said, I do. He goes, yep. I said, well, will you stand up there and let me throw my brights on and see if it comes on? And it didn't come on. He goes, no, it don't work. I said, okay. Well, he said, let me see your license and your ID, proof of insurance, all that rigmarole. I give him that. There's one sitting right there. Lo and behold. See? I know I'm going to pass one sooner or later. Sitting there with his lights off in that bank parking lot. And I gave him my stuff. And he looks at my license. Now, it takes me an hour to drive to work one way. An hour. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I said it's going to take roughly an hour to get home. Okay. So he looks, and he says the name of the town I live in. He goes, this is where you live? Right here? He's holding my license up. I said, yeah. He goes, well, what are you doing driving an hour to this town? I said, to go to work. He goes, where do you work? And I pointed at my shirt. I got a patch right here on my shirt. It has the name of the company. And I told him what I did and all that. And it was really, I took it as a smart ass remark, is how I took it, to tell you the truth. He said, he's holding my license, and he goes, wow, you must make really good money to drive a 2-hour commute to work and back home every day. Oh, man. I was like, really, dude? I mean, you going to go there? I mean, you can see you can't see, but I mean, he could see my lunchbox is sitting here, my briefcase. You know, that'll come into another story. The briefcase case. And he said, you must make some really good money to drive a 2-hour commute every day. And I knew what I was wanting to say. I mean, I had it locked and loaded. I knew what I was wanting to say. But I said, nah, man, if I say that, I know damn sure and well I'll get a ticket because it'll piss his ass off, you know. But I didn't say it. I said, well, man, you got to go where the money's at, right? And he said, yeah, I guess so. Well, he wrote me a warning ticket. He said, just get that fixed as soon as you can. I said, all right, Chief. And he let me go. So another time I got pulled. Again, this is I was going through town. I maybe been on the road for I don't know, 15 minutes. I hadn't been gone from the house that long. I was in this truck again, and again, headlight was out. Well, see, it come to find out, the ballast had went bad, and I'd put a bulb in. The bulb would work for a while, and then it would just quit working. Well, it come out the ballast was bad, so I had to get a new ballast, and that solved that, fixed that issue. But again, actually, I apologize. It wasn't this vehicle. I was in my wife's car. Yeah, I was in her car because they were calling for bad weather and or some slick conditions were supposed to be moving in throughout the day. So I drove her car. It's got front wheel drive and all that stuff. And this truck, this is the last thing you want to drive. It's if the conditions are going to be bad, you end up in the ditch. So yeah, I was in her car. That's right. And the briefcase. So I got my lunchbox sitting on top of my briefcase. Now you might ask, why do you have I mean, it's not like a thin briefcase like you would see back in the day. You know, this is an actual pretty good sized briefcase, and some truck drivers, well, nowadays I think most truck drivers use like a backpack to carry their stuff. But I've always used a briefcase. That's just what I've always used. I mean, I drive a day cab, so it's just easier to transport stuff in and out of the vehicles when I get to work. You know, I got everything in my briefcase, got my paperwork, stuff I need to do my job every day. As far as paperwork and stuff goes, there's a lot of paperwork involved in my job every night. And my lunchbox and, you know, like safety vest. You can barely see it back here and a couple of items of interest. Anyway, so I'm going through town, the town I live in, and I turn left at the light. There's only like 2 lights in town. I turn left, start heading to work, and behind me I see it was like the small town cops pass, and they was in like a SUV. Well, I saw them do a U-turn, and they got behind me, and they threw the blue lights on, and I thought, what in the hell? Now, like I said, I was in my wife's car. The right headlight was out, and I didn't know. I did not know. So he pulls me over, and it was 2 cops, and they come to your passenger side over there, and it was cold. Like I said, slick conditions were supposed to be moving in throughout the day. It was cold, and so I rolled down the passenger window, and they both come over there, and they said, "How you doing?" You could tell they didn't have. I was surprised they weren't wearing jackets. They just had their regular long sleeve uniform shirts on. I was like, damn. I had the heat on in the car. I was comfortable, and that wind was kicking. And he's standing over there, and I rolled the window down about halfway. And he said, "How you doing?" I said, "All right, man." I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "You got a headlight out." I said, I didn't know. I really didn't. And he said, "Hang on just a minute." So the one cop went back to his car to write up. He wrote me a warning ticket, but his partner stood by my the passenger door, and he had his hands in his pocket. He was shivering, and he saw my briefcase, and he goes, "What's in the briefcase?" And I said, "Stuff for paperwork, my job." And I said, "You need to look at it?" And I said, "Do you want me to?" Oh man, my wife's texting me. The cop, he said, "What's in the briefcase?" And I said, stuff for work. I got my paperwork's in there, log books. I said, I can open it up if you want to look at it. And he said, nah, it's all right. I thought that was kind of odd that he would ask me what's in. I mean, I guess it might seem kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a business tycoon or nothing. I don't carry, a blue collar man driving a pickup truck with a briefcase sitting in the passenger seat with a lunchbox on top. But I told him I was a truck driver, and he was like, "Oh, never mind, no problem." And so they gave me the warning ticket, and I was on the way. Now, with those stories about the headlights being out or whatever, and there's been other times I've gotten pulled over for just wanting to know why I was on the road. It's really kind of strange, but now what I do now when I start this truck and I get ready to leave work, I turn my lights on and I walk around the truck and I make sure all the lights is working, and I got an extra headlight bulb back here in case one of my headlights go out. I can replace it in the parking lot at work and only have to leave, and go ahead and don't have to leave to get, to try to get to a store. But it's just aggravating when you get off at 4:30 or 5 in the morning and there's nothing really open. Luckily, Walmart's open, and I've had to do that once when I left work early one morning. I think it was a little over a year ago, and I made it to the Walmart with a headlight out, and I was able to get in there, and I bought 2 bulbs. I got one to replace that and then a spare. So, oh my goodness. Hang on a minute. I can't believe my wife is texting me. She's usually asleep. I can't believe this. Oh, man. All right. I don't know. Let me see. Did that work? The one time I tried to do a video, and my wife's texting me, "Are you there? Are you there? Hello, hello." I'm like, what are you doing up? It's 5 in the morning. Usually I text her, and I don't get no response. That's 99% of the time. What the hell? Dog. So anyway, I sit there and walk around the truck, check the lights. Speaking of lights, why am I turning this light off? I don't know. That done shook me all up with that crap. She done threw me off track. Damn. Anyway. She was asking if I wanted some breakfast. And I was like, sure. Man. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And who knows how long it'll take for this to process it. YouTube, man, I don't know if it's because of the corona outbreak and a lot more people are getting on YouTube or whatever. I don't know. But whenever I try to upload a video or like a live video, this is being recorded live, but it's unlisted. So it still has to process and all that stuff. And I don't know what the deal is, but when you do a live video, whether it's live on the spot or unlisted, if something that has to process for a while, it can take like 18 hours before the video is up for viewing or available for viewing. It's just like, what? So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what's taking so long for videos to get processed. Like I said, I guess it's just so much traffic on YouTube. Hell, I don't know, man. I've never had that issue before on YouTube. Never. It's I can do a video coming home, and I'll get all the way to the house, and I'll stop the video. And by the time I get in the house and get something ready to eat or whatever, I'll check my YouTube, and the video's ready. It's there. It's ready to be made public, or I can watch it or whatever. But here lately, with all this, since all this crazy crap's been going on, it can take like 18 hours for a video to get processed. I'm like, my God. So I don't know. So anyway, we're going to get off here. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. All right, man.